All right, everybody, welcome to a brand new series here on the Blue Belly Sports channel. We are creating a new league, and the idea behind this is we're going to start with the existing, 30 teams in MLB. We're going to start there, and every year we're going to add two teams. And as we continue to do that, two teams year after year, I'm going to simulate. I'm not going to play. I'm not going to pick a team. I'm just going to be in commissioner mode. And we're going to see who wins, who does well, but also what the league looks like once it gets pretty big. And then we will split into a promotion relegation. I'll take you guys along with my journey of creating the expansion teams. That's something I enjoy doing, so I'll show you some of that. But let's get started here. So we're gonna leave all these things the same. We don't really care because we're not playing. Uh, Enable automatic evolution of the league is fine. Since we'll be commissioner, we'll kind of have final veto if it tries to do anything too crazy. I'm going to call this expanding league. It'll auto save. I guess I have to stay in that. I thought when I did commissioner mode it wouldn't make me do that, but I don't know why I changed my name to the letter R. My name is Blue Belly. Cannot be fired. It's okay. We don't plan on really playing. The trading difficulty, that I guess is the default. Trading reputation. Okay. Yeah, we're not worried about that too much. So I don't know how many of you guys that clicked on this video have set up a league like this. It's a bit of a process, but once we get it going, then we can go ahead and set up an expansion, and we'll pick our first two teams. Now, one thing I did want to show is I'm going to pick our expansion based on population. So, sorry, I don't really want to have all this up here, but we want to U.S. cities by population. And then once we're in here, we want to find what's the first city without a baseball team. San Antonio. Okay, so we'll do San Antonio. Now, technically the next one would be Austin. Do we really want to add two Texas teams? And then the next one would be Jacksonville. So definitely we want to do San Antonio. And then Fort Worth is here, but San Jose is in there, which would be interesting to get a West Coast team. Then Columbus could get a team. Charlotte could get a team. Indianapolis could get a team. Oklahoma City. You can see where this is going, right? But I don't want to just have like the three of the first four teams all be Texas, which is what we would do if we did San Antonio, Austin, and Fort Worth. So probably what we'll do, this is my own kind of judgment call here, we'll do San Antonio and Jacksonville in this first batch. And then we'll sort out whether we want to do Austin, San Jose, Fort Worth, Columbus in some combination. So we'll go ahead and minimize those. And all right. So here's our starting teams. There's going to be a lot of simulating in this, and so sometimes I will do this off video and just jump cut it for you guys, but I thought I would go ahead and do the setup as I am doing it live in case anyone else wants to try it. Now, if you look up in the top left, you'll see the game does go into not responding sometimes in this process. I have a decent gaming PC, but it's not like otherworldly. So we want to go into, I believe it's league settings. that will allow us to expand. So what did I say? So we'll do San Antonio Stallions. I guess we'll do just San. In the city, we want San Antonio, Texas. Okay. And we want them to be in... I would assume it would make sense to put them in the AL West. And then the other one I said was Jacksonville. What do we want? Like Sharks. This seems like a good thing to ask ChatGPT. Oh, geez. I don't want to do all that with you guys watching. Never mind. Let's think of something famous in Jacksonville, Duval County, beaches, Seminole, people. What if we just say, they got the Jaguars, River City Renaissance. I mean, it is. What if we just do something like the Bayhawks, Jacksonville Bayhawks? Bayhawks. We'll do Jacks. We'll do Jacksonville. We can always change it too. If somebody has a good suggestion, drop it down in the comments. And we'll probably put them in the, I would imagine, the NL East to balance it out. Now let's go to the next step. We do not want all these big cities here. But I'll tell you what we're going to do, just so that it puts the teams in the proper... They do not have a Dominican team. Create one minor league team per level. See, there's not a Dominican team, which does hurt. I ran into this with my last save, because then you don't have anywhere to send your international signings. But if you use an existing MLB team, you have like 3 Dominican League teams to develop. So I think what we'll do is go ahead and just leave this so that it doesn't mess it up. All right, create. It won't be this involved in every episode, sorry. Schedule expansion draft. Create new coaches. Fill minors with fictional players. Yes, expanded teams draft first in the rookie draft. Auto protect. Okay, good. Done. Yes. It's important to do that, fill minors with fictional players. You might be thinking, but now you're going to flood your save with fictional players. Yes, there will be some. But since we're only doing 2 new teams every year, it shouldn't be terrible. So what we would love to do now, we're not going to have a team of our own. We will go through the expansion draft, then we'll look at our 2 new teams. So San Antonio got that cool little S there, and Jacksonville got this Bayhawks logo. That must be why that name was fresh on my brain, because that was a team that was in my minors in my last playthrough. Okay, so these teams drafted. So let's look at Jacksonville. They got Syndergaard, Kenta Maeda, Domingo Germain, I guess. Jeff Robinson, Zach Crum, Jeremiah Estrada I've seen around. Okay, that should be interesting. And then Nathan Lukes, David Peralta, Jordan Luplow, Oswaldo Cabrera. Yeah, I've definitely seen him in some saves. Eduardo Escobar. And some interesting kind of journeymen made it onto that team. And we'll have to fix their minors at some point, but I don't know that I want to do that right now. So let's look at the San Antonio squad. They got in pitching Stavely, Carmona, Peterson, Jeffrey Springs. That's pretty surprising that he slipped through the cracks. After a 3.1 WAR season for Tampa, they didn't protect him. And then Greg Allen, yeah, that's a big one. James Outman, Wilmer Flores, Luke Raley, some decent names here. All right, let's go ahead and play out the season, and we'll see who did better of our two new expansion teams. And now that you understand the format, hopefully this is something, I can get you guys to chime in on who we should add in future years and what kind of branding we want to do with them. Hopefully I'll do a better job than just randomly picking Jacksonville Bayhawks at the last second. Speaking of, they're in third place in their division. We will have to pay close attention to not putting a bunch of, I might move San Antonio to the Central if we're going to be putting in California teams. But, right now they're with Texas and Houston, which I think makes a lot of sense. I'm going to try, as I add teams, I'm going to try not to disrupt traditional rivalries in the regular divisions, even if it doesn't geographically make sense. In other words, we might have a team like San Antonio move to the Central so that we can put a California team in the West. Even though Texas, we would all consider the West of the United States and not the Central. Even though it is kind of in the middle. Anyways, I'm digressing. So San Antonio's having a rough go. Jacksonville, however, is mid-tier. And it's about like my teams usually do. Moving right along. I'm trying to look to see if there's any surprises here in the teams, real teams. Atlanta, St. Louis, San Diego, Texas. I guess Texas is a little bit of a surprise that they're not beating the Ohtani, or that they are beating the Ohtanis. Minnesota, Yankees. Oh, we're in June. I was looking up here at the top right where it says we're still March 30th. And I was thinking, how do they have so many games played in March? I was like, oh no, don't tell me this is all spring training. But it's not. It's not. We're good. This also gives people an idea how long it takes to simulate a season. It's a little longer than I anticipated, but I figured we'd be at the All-Star break by now. I hope I'm not going to break my save doing this. I should have saved before I clicked simulate. approaching the All-Star break here. I guess it's not going to stop. This is really interesting simulating like this, though. San Antonio is still in the basement, and now Jacksonville has joined them. Actually, Jacksonville's doing worse as an overall winning percentage. They had a good run there in the early part, but this is, how shall I say, more methodical than I thought it was going to be. Taking a little while here in the middle. What do you guys think? Do you see any? Oh, okay. The Angels took over the Rangers. Dodgers took over the Padres. Braves are still tied for the best team in the league with the Dodgers. The Yankees are looking a little better here than IRL. Although I haven't checked the standings in real life in a bit. Maybe they're doing better by now. What do we think? I think this is a little slower than I anticipated, and in the next video I will cut this. I will cut the simulation and bring you guys back. I'll do the setup and then I'll bring you back after the simulation is over. But at least this way you get to see the setup, see what we're going to do. We'll do our branding, and then I think it will be fun. Then, like, next year, we'll see how San Antonio and Jacksonville are doing, right? Like, every year. And I wonder if eventually having some of these bigger cities, these bigger markets, will they supersede some of the traditional ones? Like, right here, we're seeing the Guardians are leading the AL Central. Will they do worse once there's a big market team plopped into the AL Central? You know what I mean? Like, if we move San Antonio over there, will San Antonio eventually supersede the rest of that division? I mean, Chicago's there. That's a pretty big market. And it doesn't seem to affect their overall performance. But it's just it's not a hypothesis. A research question? I guess it would be a research question. I'm looking at the leaders now while we have some time while we're simulating, and Bo Bichette with 117 RBIs it seems a little high. Estuary Ruiz with 59 stolen bases is pretty interesting, and then on the other side, Acuna with 45. Atlanta with the 1 and 2 stolen bases. That's pretty impressive. Schwarber leading the league in homers, not Pete Alonso. Joey Gallo, but not Aaron Judge. I wonder if Judge is hurt because he's not on home runs or RBIs. I don't see Ohtani up there either, which is surprising. Brian Reynolds' slugging percentage, you don't see, and batting average, you don't see many Pirates. They're actually over 500 and not going to make the playoffs. Boy, wouldn't that be real life Bucco's luck there, huh? All right, into the playoffs. I'm calling Braves. They're really tough this year, real life and in the game. I think they won 2 different Sims that I did in that first year. Uh, they just seem to have it. The game, I don't know how much of it is baked into the game's DNA. I think it's because of their pitching, honestly. I mean, of course, they've got Acuna, and if he stays healthy, he's one of the best players in the world. But oh, no way! Angels sweep. Ohtani gets and Trout get rings. Wow. I haven't seen that yet. I'm pretty sure I had the Braves in both of the Sims that I have simulated through the whole first year. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay. I don't necessarily care about this team home screen. I don't want to be here. But I do want to be here. So what we will do is get everything set up for league settings, expand league, and schedule expansion draft. We will do that at the beginning of the next episode. We will add 2 more teams. In the meantime, I'm going to change all of the minor league teams within these 2, and we'll keep doing that. I'll tell you what, if you made it this far into the video, feel free to drop the name of any North American city. Any North American city. Can be Canada, US, Mexico. The name of a North American city, and I will put a minor league team in that town. You can have 1 per comment, or let's say 1 per comment per person per episode. So if you say, I want the single A team for San Antonio to be in Anchorage, Alaska, I will do it. So you leave that comment, I will like it, I will go in and edit that. We'll get a little bit of audience participation here. What do you think of my decision to go with San Antonio and Jacksonville? Leave a comment. Like the video if you like the idea. The next video I'm sure will be shorter, and we'll see you then. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.